I have an idea.
Well, we don't even know. Today, everything's all fine and dandy. It's all we need to get this shit back into fucking swings. And be careful.
Now, Naomi, we've already lost one operative, so try not to get killed, or we'll be in the red for the day.
Copy that.
What the hell? Is this a meme? This better be a joke or I'm snapping.
Ah, cannabis and fentanyl, together at last through the miracle of genetics.
I could have used 10 more minutes.
The Kellys are moving loads of weapons out of here. Not your typical back alley shanks. Stables. It's human trafficking. Found Jimmy.
Cheeky shit. Fuck you.
And here we thought he might be in some sort of trouble.
Fucking bastard. Let me go.
So, how are you going to get him out of there?
Lots of hugs and kisses.
It's dead sick. Don't fucking move! I'll kill him! We'll kill him! Need help!
Reinforcements are converging on your position.
On your feet, mate.
Well, wait a minute. Are you dead sick?
Hope you're sharper than you look.
Jesus Christ. Don't let me beat these dead sick pricks.
Back up! I need back up! Whoa!
Does the rolling help?
Watch it! Shit! Fucking hell! Run!
Well, we showed those fucks, didn't we?
We almost died out there tonight.
Look, thanks for helping me, but I can handle myself.
Right. You think you're better off alone. You think everyone else has given up and there's no one to trust. That's what they want you to think. And that's how they'll take us, one at a time. It doesn't have to be that way. Together, we can change things.
Wait. What happened to that bloke who helped me?
He didn't make it.
Fuck it.
Welcome to DedSec, James.
Yeah. Okay, so where do I go to meet the rest of the crew?
You don't need to go anywhere. Look around you. Everyone has a reason to fight, and DedSec is open to anyone.
Anyone?
Welcome to the Resistance.
Thank you. Thank you. Guess I'm going to make you all wait so long, I should really knock it out of the park, huh? I'm Clint Hawking. I'm the creative director of Watch Dogs Legion. And for the past few years, the team and I have had the privilege to work on a game and an innovation that we are very proud of. Watch Dogs Legion is set in London, one of the greatest cities in the world, and it's had a massive influence on all of our culture for centuries. Today, with Brexit, London's at a turning point. It's hard to predict what the future holds for London, for the UK, or for the world. But history has proven time and again that where London goes, all of us go together. In our near future, London is facing her downfall. The UK has become a surveillance state, and freedom has been replaced with fear. Armed drones patrol the streets, deportation squads rip people from their homes, and Granddad is using crypto to buy a new kidney on the black market. But Londoners never surrender. Their resilience and determination is an inspiration to us all, and they are the heroes of our game. All of them. In Watch Dogs Legion, your mission is to build a popular resistance to fight back against the emergence of an authoritarian regime. This means you don't just play as one hero, but many. And in Watch Dogs Legion, you can recruit and play as anyone. In our game, every Londoner is fully simulated with a persistent life and relationships, and anyone from the entire population can be recruited into your team. Find them, profile them, hack into their lives, play their origin mission, and win them over to your cause. The heroes you recruit are all unique characters with different backstories and personalities, fully voiced and animated, and they are the stars of your story. Every cinematic in the game will change depending on whether you're playing a former MI5 action hero, a 70-year-old granny you saw feeding pigeons in the park, or anyone in between. However you want to play, whoever you want to be, Watch Dogs Legion lets you be that. You want to make a team of classic British spies? No problem. You want to be a crew of street-savvy kids from the council block? Do it. You want to go hipster, body mod, Afro-punk, gangsta? Awesome. The women of Bletchley Park? These ladies fucking invented hacking! Play as Anyone is the innovation that transforms a story about freeing London and the world from the grip of tyranny into a game about the heroes that live in each of us. Because being a hero isn't just a job for someone else anymore. It's a job for everyone. So on behalf of the Watch Dogs Legion's team here and around the world, I hope to see you on the booth. Thank you for your time, and welcome to the Resistance.
London. Had a good run there for a while. Now it's all riots, bombings, and people thrown in cages like animals. Oh, and who could forget the killer robots everywhere? So yeah, that's all gone a bit shit. It's up to us to take our city back. Thing is, we can't do it alone. We need to recruit a resistance. I know what you're thinking. Where do we start? Open your eyes and take a look around. Look here. Look at him. No, not him. Him. Former MI5.
Duty never ends.
He can get anywhere and erase anyone. See her?
Let's kick those bastards out of London.
She got kicked out of Oxbridge robotics school for teaching him to, reproduce. And that fella over there? proper bellend.
Come on, come at me.
He'll crack your skull just for looking at him funny.
This had better be fucking good.
And allow me to introduce you to the deadliest of the lot. She's not old, she's experienced. Like I said, you can recruit anyone, and I mean bloody anyone. Him, her, everyone is a secret weapon. Find them, recruit them, build the resistance. Let's unfuck this world.
Hello. My name is Rob McElhenney, and for the past 14 years, I have been making a television show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Thank you. But I am here today because I love games, and I wanted to express that love in the only way that I know how, save for playing them, and that is to make a TV show about them. More importantly, the people who create those games and the people who play them. So last year, I called the funniest people that I knew, Charlie Day, Megan Gans, and David Hornsby, all executive producers on Sunny, and we started talking. We realized very early on that if we were going to do this, we wanted to do it right and to be as authentic as possible, because, as you all know, nobody smells bullshit like this particular community. So we did the right thing. We partnered with Ubisoft, and away we went. It has been an incredible experience working with one of the biggest and best game developers in the world to inspire us, because our show takes place in the fictional studio that created the biggest MMORPG in the world, Mythic Quest. And we meet them on the cusp of releasing their biggest expansion yet, Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet. The show follows the team of devs as they navigate the challenges of running their game while dealing with the difficulties of modern office life. These people are truly stuck together, yet they grind it out day after day for the love of the game. And at the head of that team is my character, creative director, Ian Grimm. Like most creative directors, he's gifted, driven, and tirelessly dedicated to his game. And like most of the creative directors that I've met, he has an ego the size of a city bus. I'm going to get my ass kicked backstage because there's a lot of creative directors here. Joking aside, it is clear that those creative directors and the thousands of people who work on these games put everything that they can into them. They recognize that they have a tremendous opportunity and responsibility, that they must do everything in their power to ensure that the games are nothing short of the best that they can make, because that is what the community, you, deserve. I promise you that in making this show, we took the same approach. So without further ado, here is a brief look into our upcoming TV series for Apple TV+, Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet.
What is Mythic Quest? Some may say it's just a video game. When it first debuted, MQ was hailed as a masterpiece. Now played in 20 different countries on 6 continents, it's the biggest massive multiplayer role-playing game of all time. And today, they find themselves on the precipice of their first major expansion, Mythic Quest: Raven's Banquet. And it all falls on the shoulders of one man, creative director Ian Grimm.
When we think about cultural touchstones, we think E.T., Star Wars, Avatar. And yet our industry dwarfs the traditional entertainment business. So when we think about legends, why not think Mythic Quest?
True indeed. And when we think of visionary world-building artists, instead of just Spielberg, Lucas, and Cameron, why not think Grimm?
I'm sorry, I gotta stop.
Going.
Oh my god. This is insane.
I think it's brilliant.
Hey there, my name is Parker Intero Mackay, esports caster for Rainbow Six Siege. There are so many exciting things to come in Year 4. In-game events, map reworks, playlist updates, a roster of 52 unique operators, and of course, a thriving esports scene. Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to enjoy our 13th season, Operation Phantom Sight. This major content update brings 2 new operators to Team Rainbow, Nook and Warden. After this show, be sure to stick around for an intense celebrity match starring T-Pain, Lil Yachty, and some of your favorite Twitch streamers for the Twitch Rivals Celebrity Show Match. But right now, here's a glimpse of the new season in action. Thank you, everyone, and have a great E3.
Come on, come on. Oh, no!
Yeah.
No! Again?
Yeah, that's what you get when you take on the Brawl Hall of Master.
These things are whack! 1v1 me, bro. For real!
Yeah. I'll toast your buns again, sure. Want to choose a different character?
Yeah! I choose me!
Whoa.
Yeah! Woohoo! Brawl Jabraic!
Oh, my burrito! Whoa! It's those guys from the game!
What time is it?
Adventure time! Love that bacon hammer!
All I do is win. Got him!
Go for it, PB!
Uh-huh!
place has everything. Ha! Did somebody order a combo?
Yeah! Woo! Mathematical! 25 million players!
Dude, that's almost 25.5 million.
Oh, snap! Look out!
Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Brawlhalla? Brawlhalla?
No, man! Brawlhalla!
Oh. Hey, welcome to Brawlhalla.
This game is...
The only test of a man's worth is battle. When those rounds come screaming past your head, you're gonna learn if you're hungry enough to take that victory. And we're going to battle with the soldiers that we used to be. Ghosts. And you better believe that they are hungry too. Once upon a time, some of these ghosts, they may have been your friends. And there is brotherhood. But then there is what the world needs. These ghosts, they are the past. They still serve the machine that we left behind. And right now, for the future, the world needs us. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here with you tonight. And as you head into battle, with that mean look in your eye and those bad intentions in your mind, remember this. You are the few with the courage to make history. You have the desire to take victory. You will be on a battlefield full of ghosts, but only you have that hunger. That hunger that makes you wolves.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, I'm John. Good to be here. This is Bam Bam the dog. Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's a real honor to be here with you guys today. Thank you. I love you too. Right on. This is awesome. This has been really great and exciting, and I'm really honored to be here. I'm enormously proud to be part of the development of this game. It was a pleasure to work with the Ubisoft team. You know, I've had the chance to play some pretty strong, tough men over the years. I've played a deputy fighting zombies, special forces soldier who lost everything. And now I get to play Cole D. Walker. He's a skilled former special operations soldier with his own sense of responsibility and his own moral code. He knows how things should be run. He loves his brothers, his fellow soldiers, but he is willing to do whatever it takes to complete his mission and take control of Aroa. There is no briefing. There's no backup. You will not face a group of bad guys or a criminal organization. You will face an entire army. My army, the Wolves. We've got the numbers, we've got the organization, and remember, we trained alongside you. The weaponry of a fully operational special ops detachment. Trust me, there's an unparalleled arsenal of high-tech weapons in Aroa. So if you think you have what it takes, strap on your boots and you get ready to take on the Wolves and take on me. See you in Aroa. We'll be waiting.
Are perfect predators. They have the knowledge of their hunting ground But we have the element of surprise. They have the technology, but we have the skills to even the odds. They have an army. We fight with our brothers and sisters. They are hungry, but we are enraged. We are ghosts. And ghosts never die.
Hi, everyone. Being a community developer on Ghost Recon Wildlands and Breakpoint has been an incredible journey for me so far. When we first announced the game, you were very excited. And after discussions with members of our community, I today announce that with our post-launch plan, we will be bringing back our AI teammates for our solo players. With Ghost Recon Breakpoint, we want to go the extra mile with how we engage with you. So I'm pleased to announce a brand new community program that will allow you to express and share your passion. Welcome to Ghost Recon Delta Company. From cosplay to streaming, fan art to forum discussions. However you show your love for Ghost Recon, there is something for you in our 5 different detachments, with lots of content to support you, as well as direct discussions with our studio. So head over to our Ghost Recon Breakpoint website to find out more, and hear from you soon, Delta Ghosts. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Laura. Hello, everyone. The Ghost Recon team has always taken great pride from your passion for our games. And that passion is what pushes us to deliver the best Spec Ops experience out there. Behind enemy lines, you will be fighting the most dangerous enemies the Ghosts have ever faced, constantly testing your survival skills. Yes, we can't wait to welcome you in Ghost Recon Breakpoint on October 4th. And 1 month before that, our beta will be live on September 5th. You can register on our website right now for a chance to participate. Ghost Recon Breakpoint will be live for years to come. We've got your back. New content, free updates, and many surprises inspired by our community. Yes, yes. like this one. Will you survive your breakpoint? All right. See you all out there. Have a good one.
A dauntless and daring agent. She's all in, all out, always. Montaigne, counterterrorism and rescue veteran. His best offense is his defense. Nomad, covert special ops team leader. A ghost on the battlefield. Caveira, highly skilled defending operator, lightly armed, massively effective. Sam Fisher, elite covert operative. The lone wolf now hunts with a pack.
When chaos strikes, rally the specialists. Lead the elite squad. Pre-register now.
$10 years. 10 years. That's a lot of dancing. We're exhausted. I know. But think of everything we've done. It's not for us, or for you, or you. It's for them, the players! We danced, and Silvio and his girlfriend got married. We danced, and our friend Jaden Rodriguez danced for millions, bringing together generations. That's right. We danced, and they set world records. Do you remember Carrie? Yep. Of course we do, because we were with her. Right. Yes? Dance is why we exist. And I know we're gonna have much more of these moments because dance is a force. It's transcendent. It unites and it shows us who we are. That's why Just Dance is more than just dance. Let's get out there and get ready for what's next.
There's an old tale about this village. A samurai came to deliver justice. But darkness clouded her mind. She slaughtered every living soul. And became the spirit of death. Years later, we hunted the samurai in the village. We didn't believe the old tale. Not until a horror came. Spirits hungered for our souls. Is the spirit of death. And she's brought a curse that will doom us all.
Found him. Take him. I'll cover you.
He's going into stasis.
Contact! Head to the extraction point!
Hi, I'm Bio Jade, and I'm the lead game designer on the next Rainbow Six game. It's called Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Quarantine. I'm part of a new team in Ubisoft Montreal that set out on an exciting new mission: create a radically redesigned co-op experience built on the foundations of one of the best shooters of this generation. What Siege is to the PvP shooter genre, we will be to PvE co-op. Quarantine will test your tactical skills and survival instincts, holding you and your operators on the razor's edge. It pulls you together as a squad, facing off against an unknown and devastating parasite. You will risk everything every time you step into quarantine. Stay tuned and start prepping for your next deployment. I can't wait to show you more, and have a great E3.
Is that a f***ing hunter? Yeah!
God, Mom! I'm playing video games!
We will stand united. We will stand united.
What's up, Ubisoft family? What's up? Yeah. All right. Woo. As creative director at Red Storm Entertainment, there's no greater reward for me or the team than to see our game come to life and to see our players, our star players, taking tremendous pride in being a part of the Division. Yeah! Now, if you haven't had the opportunity to play the Division 2 yet, we would be thrilled to have you join our very passionate community, because I'm happy to announce that this week only, between June 13th and June 16th, the Division 2 will be absolutely 100% free for everyone to play. And there's no better time to join us, as we're about to release the first of our major content updates for our year one journey. A journey beyond Washington, D.C., to save not just a city, but an entire nation. All right. Thank you. Episode 1, coming in July, right around the corner. We deliver to you new main missions and a brand new game experience. So for the first time, we're taking the fight outside the city, and you'll venture deep into the woodlands to spearhead an attack on a presidential compound as you seek to bring a traitor to justice. The National Zoo is the setting of our next mission, where you and your team will hunt down the surviving outcast leader. And this brings us to our final edition of Episode 1, a place called Kenley College, and it's home to an entirely new gameplay experience. One that will take exploration, investigation, and logic to uncover the fate of a military convoy gone dark. Now, Episode 2, coming this fall, we will bring to you the Pentagon. Once an impenetrable fortress, it has fallen to the Black Tusks, and its secrets are about to be thrown out into the open. You must do everything it takes to secure what lies behind the walls of this last castle. But this won't be the greatest danger you face in Episode 2. I'm very excited to tell you that our second raid will be coming this fall, bringing back intense 8-player action. Yeah! Watching you tackle the first raid was awesome, and we cannot wait to see what world records you break this time around. Now, this brings us to our third and final episode of Year One. What if rebirth was not about bringing the world as we know it back to life, but the opposite? One man holds that power, and humanity itself is at stake. Agents, it's time to engage in a manhunt.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy. Let me try with pleasure.
We had the training. We fought to protect the weak. But training doesn't prepare you to hunt someone you used to call brother. He has left us no other choice. If we don't stop him, there will be nothing left to save.
Holy shit, what about that? Man. Woo. I can't wait for that. Okay, one last thing. As you might know, we have been working on a movie. It will be directed by David Leitch, starring Jessica Chastain and Jake Gyllenhaal. Well, today, I'm proud to announce that we will be making the Division movie with Netflix. More to come on that in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh my God. Wow. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Panagrossi. I'm Vice President of Platform and Product Management. Ubisoft has been creating worlds for over 30 years. We have the most diverse library of games, and we're about to make it even easier for you to play them. I'm here to announce Ubisoft's new subscription service on PC called Uplay Plus. You'll get earliest available access to new games, including the premium editions with all their additional content. And you can enjoy the depth of our PC catalog that includes over 100 games and growing. Uplay Plus will be $14.99 a month. If you sign up today, we'll enable free access for you in September at launch.
Let me know if you ready to get dollars, holla, cause we wildin' out. If you want it ready, steady, go. Fight the good fight because this is war. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Let me know if you ready to get dollars, holla, cause we wildin' out. If you with it, ready, steady, go. Fight the good fight because this is war. 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 Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness.
Wherever players are, we want to provide access to our games and services. I'm pleased to announce that in 2020, Uplay Plus will be available on Stadia. Stadia is the new generation gaming platform where you could play our Stadia games from any device. A special thank you to Phil Harrison and his team. This is the beginning of our partnership. Thank you so much. Have fun playing.
Future champions. My name is Stefan, and I'm a proud member of the Roller Champions team. All right, come on, bring it up. From the get-go, our ambitions with this game were very clear. We wanted to create something new. We wanted to capture the intangible excitement of players preparing for the big game, the hype of team play and competition, along with the craziness of high-speed racing. So we started working on Roller Champions, a skill-based team a game in which you, the player, can create your own story as you roll up to glory. But right now I know how it looks. We showed you a trailer, and I got on stage starting my little speech. That's all well and good, but when will you ever get to play this? How about today? That's right. When we're done here, I want you to head over to Uplay on your PC to download a pre-alpha E3 demo of Roller Champions. Play the heck out of it for the next few days. And when you're done, head to the forums to tell us what you thought. And you know what? We firmly believe that you will be screaming as loudly as our colleagues did when they first got to play test it back in Montreal. But I can't just leave you with that. So here's a taste of what you should expect once you click that download button. Put your skates on, see you in the arena.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another nail-biting game of Roller Champions! Start the party, celebrate. I'm sick of nonsense. I want to elevate. Look at him go! Unbelievably fast! Move the chain! What a tackle! Do it. If you really want to break the wing, up,
So first, I want to say thank you to... Thank you. So first, I want to say thank you to all the Ubisoft teams around the world for your talent and energy. You know, congratulations for another great show. Thank you. So I believe video games have a positive impact on all of us and the world around us. At Ubisoft, our intention is to create games that will make you stronger and happier in your life. When you play Ubisoft games, we hope you will spend quality time with family and friends and meet new inspiring people. Learn more about yourself by doing, and gain new perspective on the world and help shape it. So to everyone who plays our games, thank you for your love. You push us to always do better and go further. So now, I'm very proud to announce a new project from an exceptional team in Quebec City. Please give a warm applause to Marc-Alexis Côté, who is coming to show you a sneak peek of his game. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Over the last 10 years, I've had the chance to be part of an incredible team that has always pushed the limits of Assassin's Creed and shown us different periods of our past. But our imagination has always been bound to the reality of the history books. These past 4 years, our minds have lingered on a different aspect of our history, mythology. The stories of the ancient gods and their misadventures have existed through generations of storytellers and audiences and have transformed into tales that we still know and love today. Now, these stories have shaped our dreams, inspiring us to build something new, something that transcends the limits that we have always set upon ourselves. Today, I am very proud to have the chance to show you a glimpse, to show you a teaser of this brand new game that we've been working on. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you, and have a great E3.
When heroes need help, they turn to the gods. When gods need help, they turn to you.
Here we are. Hello, everybody. Let this sink in. Let this sink in indeed. Hello, everybody at home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great show. But this is just the beginning, guys. This is just the beginning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is just the beginning. We are here outside of the Orpheum Theater, live from the Pro Zone, where we have an incredible Rainbow Six Siege show match together with Twitch rivals. We have our two new best friends, T-Pain and Lil Yachty. We brought some other streamers, so let's do it.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Ubisoft E3 press conference. I'm Max Scoville. I'm joined by Brian Altano, Damon Hatfield, and James Juggalo Tugboat Duggan. So, We've been changing his name all the time, and we're going to continue doing it all week. Let's talk about Watch Dogs Legion first and foremost.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you guys think?
I think it looks really cool.
I'm all in.
So Clint Hawking is the creative director, who also worked on, I believe, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory and Far Cry 2, I think, which bodes well.
I mean, you totally called it in the pre-show about being able to hack people's brains.
Bam! They all got the stack. It's like this in-ear device. We're looking at Helen, the hero of Watch Dogs 3.
Yeah, she's turned out to be a very popular character. And then there's this AI assistant in the corner. So my question is that who we actually are? Are we playing this AI assistant and taking control of people? Like,
there's some very existential questions there.
Yeah.
But you might be the sort of satellite eye, pie in the sky type of thing, you know?
I hate to play the pessimist here.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
This looks phenomenal, but there's just no possible way that you have this city full of people that you can interact with that are going to have custom voices for every single mission. I think it's going to be a scenario where you get this guy for this mission, this guy for that mission, this person for that mission, and then you have this kind of larger pool that you can interact with in a more generic capacity. But like, Helen strikes me as so unique. I just can't imagine that there are going to be hundreds of thousands of characters like this. You know?
No, totally. I'm totally with you on that. In fact, you already saw in some of the cutscenes in the sort of like longer piece that they showed us outside of the trailer, where characters were sort of mourning characters that got killed, which I don't think you can just write dynamically on the fly. There's obviously going to be narrative beats that will be characters that you sort of hijack for specific story elements and segments, and they might die, they might live, they might keep going. You do have this sort of character select screen, which is pretty cool. It looks like a super boring Mortal Kombat.
It's very XCOM.
Yeah,
like it's XCOM, a little bit like a Pokemon with permadeath humans, you know.
The city is gorgeous. Riding giant drones around, I was like really interested. Every time I play an open world game, it gets boring after a couple hours, and I'm like, let me fly stuff and crash vehicles and stuff. So it looks like we're going to get to fly basically little low-level helicopter drones everywhere.
Also, this comes out early March,
like a month before Cyberpunk.
Which is, I think, this is going to be a good holdover until Cyberpunk drops.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it'll scratch that itch.
I kind of wanted that this fall. You know. I really wanted
I was hoping for that too.
Yeah. Anyway, we also got at the very tail end there. We got a look at Gods and Monsters. I was totally expecting like an Assassin's Creed tease, and then
at least Gods and they have so many gritty shooters. Ubisoft does. So at least this looks very different from most of the rest of its lineup.
Totally, and this is from Assassin's Creed devs, obviously.
From Odyssey.
This is totally like. That is a Breath of the Wild ass game.
You gotta say Breath of the Wild, right?
I called it DreamWorks Zelda basically on the way in because it's got that sort of the googly eye look. But I think it's really beautiful. I'm really excited for this. It looks like it's based a little bit more in sort of ancient lore, like characters. That, like it's not something like they just invented on the fly like Zelda. But obviously this is not based on real life creatures or animals either.
Absolutely. I think it's still grounded in mythology. It's not necessarily fantasy. Mythology might be very different than that, but I do believe that there's an emphasis on action here, a little bit of stat-driven stuff, but I can't imagine you'll be like tinkering Diablo 3 or even Assassin's Creed Odyssey style in terms of the actual mechanical loot.
Well, they gave that game a release date. It's February 25th, so I kind of wish they would have shown us a little bit more of that.
I know. That's another game we have to wait until 2024.
I'm so expecting at this point, like we know that there's next-gen stuff coming. Ubisoft is, like, they love getting on new hardware. I'm almost surprised, like, Gods and Monsters isn't, they're not teasing it for, next holiday season.
Yeah.
But I imagine a lot of sort of cross-gen stuff is going to be a thing. Now, moving on, we also got some more stuff out of Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yes. It seemed to be all narrative, which is weird. I got some hands-on time. Ha! Fooled you all. A little bit beforehand, and what I played was very, very fun. This is John Bernthal. His character's name is... Oh, hold on. I'm going to get it. Here it is. It's
the
somewhere.
Punisher.
The Punisher.
Walker.
Whatever his name is, he used to be part of the Ghosts, and now he's leading this Wolves. So this is people that you've trained alongside, and they are very much kind of in on the future, in on drones. Screw humanity. It's all about robots, these guys say. But these are very interesting characters because they're patrolling, and when you get seen, they kind of actively hunt you, and they have this AI that is almost like you're fighting another player. They really want this to be kind of an oh crap moment, kind of like a Mr. X in Resident Evil kind of deal. And I think that's what we were talking about before, enemy variety. This is really, really cool.
Duggan, did we get a Terminator reveal at the end of this? Like,
yeah, what was that?
That's the second Terminator in 2 days at E3. Nintendo's press conference is tomorrow. I want the Terminator in Animal Crossing.
Well, it's the same Terminator from Ghost Recon.
I know, I just want that Terminator to keep jumping into every video game.
They said the magic word for me. They said they're bringing back AI teammates. I'm primarily a single-player gamer, so that's great news for me. I love the old Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter games, but I skipped out on Wildlands because it didn't have the AI teammates. So
Yeah.
I'm back on board.
Speaking of that, there is content in this game. I fought this drone tank.
Is content good?
Well, yes, there's content in this game that specifically requires 4 players to beat, so you will need your other 3 AI teammates, because a lot of this stuff is really, really challenging, and they're really putting an emphasis on the mechanical difficulty and the variety in the open world, which is fantastic.
Now, we also, as expected, got a bunch of updates for existing Ubisoft games. We saw For Honor. They're adding some like supernatural elements. Doug, and you messed with For Honor a bit.
I did.
What do you make of this? They're adding ghosts now?
It's real fun. The things that I have to say about For Honor are somewhat tragic. I think
tragic.
This is an example of Ubisoft really doubling down on the post-launch support, regardless of how the initial release does. There's definitely been a community that's re-engaged with For Honor. I don't think to the extent that like something like Rainbow Six Siege, you have this constant online community. They've definitely just continued to add content as if it had, though. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to check it out. I don't know that I'll play it for sure, but I'm really kind of gunning for Honor 2 in 2020.
Now, Division 2 has a very active scene right now. That's kind of their most recent game like this that came out, and they announced that people are going to be leaving Washington, D.C. and exploring kind of, I think I saw Coney Island there.
Yeah, you'll be exploring the woods. Then you're going to go into this kind of what struck me as like maybe an escape room, and then finally you're going to hunt your own. But the key word for me with Division 2 was the second raid. This is the content that everybody loved. Jump back into Division 2 to play. 8-player raid, really, really mechanically bespoke. They did a fantastic job with that experience. So I'm very much looking forward to them dropping raids on a regular basis.
So all of our friends who've been playing this game forever and who we haven't seen in months, we will continue to not see any of these people.
Destin, I don't know what he is.
Rest in peace, Fran Mirabella.
Oh, man. Then, of course, there is Rainbow Six Siege Quarantine.
Yes.
Which we all were like, oh, it's Zombie U2. Not so much.
Yeah, they'd said they weren't ever going to do like a Rainbow Six Siege 2.
Yeah.
But it's cool. There's a whole new Rainbow Six game that's more about co-op, because I love the Rainbow Six Vegas games, and I love Team Terrorist Hunt. So.
Yep. And I promise the inception for this game came out of the Rainbow Six Siege Outbreak event, which was this very limited time thing. Maybe it was in 2018, I want to say, maybe 2017. You got to jump in, and there was this couple missions you could play, Left 4 Dead style, but this seems like a evolution of that. And I really think it is strong enough to stand on its own 2 feet, and I'm very excited, just like Damon said, to jump in with co-op in a non-competitive environment, to screw around a little bit.
How do I get one of those anti-infection watches for E3? That thing looks great.
Very useful.
Shoot you up and keep sickness away?
Very useful. If it had been Zombie U2, what's the name of that sequel?
Zombie U2. It's
just
about the
keep
band.
it Zombie U.
Yeah, Bono's
Zombie
dead,
U2.
and the Edge is back, and they're ready to kill you.
Good Lord. All right, guys, it is time for a quick breather, but stick around. We've got lots more E3 live coverage on the way.
All right, I'll stick around.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, Jonathan, looks like we finally broke the news bot.
What are we going to do now? Report the news ourselves? Like a couple of jerks?
IGN Now, reporting the news ourselves like a bunch of jerks.
If you're not following IGN on social media, what are you waiting for? We're bringing the memes, gameplay, custom original content, the best user-generated videos and art, and a whole lot more. Be part of the conversation throughout the year. Follow IGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Introducing the all-new Up It News! Up It News' new and improved recipe is chock full of lists, let's plays, unboxings, special guests, goofs, guffaws, and other content too stupid for regular weekdays.
Like some sort of color-changing reptile stripper man. I'm doing it. Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up It News, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Not only is IGN the world's biggest media brand for games and entertainment, but we also have a team of some of the world's biggest fans of your favorite franchises. From breaking news and exclusives, never-before-seen looks at movies and games, to reviews, let's plays, and live streams, IGN brings you all the coverage you need, no matter where you are. Whether you're on IGN.com, the IGN app, YouTube, Facebook, or Snapchat, we've always got you covered. IGN, the #1 source for all games and entertainment fans worldwide.
And welcome back to IGN Live at E3 2019. We are still talking Ubisoft. Obviously, this is a big trade show for games. We love to gather around and talk about video games and PC games. And lo and behold, we got a new TV show and a movie announcement out of this conference. Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet.
Good title.
Which is let's talk about this. So Mac from Always Sunny came out and announced this, which is, I think it's running in Snowdrop. I think it's a TV show on Apple Plus about people making an MMO, and I guess they work at Ubisoft.
That's a walk.
Or
that's what they call a walk.
Maybe Ubisoft is just publishing their game.
Yeah, I guess it seems like, to go inside baseball, the Ubisoft is developing the assets that will go into the show, but also Mac's character in this Ubisoft conference was seemingly making fun of creative directors that were just like some of the ones that showed up later in this conference, which is amazing.
Yes.
That level of self-parody is fantastic. And yeah, you get to see this dude shirtless more often, which, if that's your thing, there it is. And there's a great cast here. This is going to be a funny show if you have Apple Plus TV, Ubisoft. That's a walk again.
I mean, it's just a strange place to sort of announce it, but it's sort of funny to see Ubisoft kind of, dipping a toe in there.
Do you guys think this show will get an official game?
I think it's going to get a mobile tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a very good likelihood. I like that they had a nice little snub on there. They showed like a graphic of like how video games are the most profitable medium, and then right next to it was like TV streaming, which is like making fun of the platform they're on.
Yeah, no, that's going to be like Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Yeah, that's definitely a long walk. I think if that had leaked in advance, we would have been like, that's not real. That can't be a thing.
Right.
But lo and behold, we also got an announcement of a Division 2 or a Division movie from David Leitch.
Not David Lynch, as we thought in our room, and we all started screaming because that would have been.
Wait, it's not David Lynch.
Not David Lynch.
Leitch. Right. Which, do we know what he's done?
He did Hobbs and Shaw, Deadpool 2, Atomic Blonde, I believe.
Okay.
He's been around. But yeah, that bodes well. I think we heard Jake Gyllenhaal and I'm drawing.
It's
someone shout it.
Well.
Yeah.
Nope.
Jessica Chastain. Thank you, Mark Medina.
So that's cool. It's kind of I feel like
apologies to Jessica Chastain.
Ubisoft has been talking about getting into like movies and TV for a while, and we haven't really seen it click.
What about Prince of Persia? You guys remember that movie?
Oh boy,
we can name them all.
So Jake Gyllenhaal's gonna be in 2 Ubisoft movies.
Yes.
There it is.
Giving him a second chance.
Oh, my shirt. Oof.
So one of probably the biggest surprises was, definitely not the Just Dance number, but the fact that Just Dance is coming out for Wii. We are getting a new Wii game in 2019.
That's right. The Nintendo Wii is still alive and kicking. Dancing grandmothers everywhere are still buying games for this thing. It's amazing when you see a lineup of logos at the bottom and you're like, Switch, Xbox One. Wii? Really?
Wii and Stadia next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
The future and the past.
Pretty strange.
I mean, it must sell still every year on Wii. I would love to know, like, how many copies are we talking about?
Must sell was the original working title for Just Dance.
Must sell.
Now let's talk about what was missing.
Yeah.
Man.
I think there was quite a bit that's missing. Even though Ubisoft was upfront about some of this stuff, it's like worrisome that Skull and Bones is like not in a state where they can show it again.
Where is that game?
It's like that, they've showed that game several times. And
I
also
played that game.
I know. And also Beyond Good and Evil 2. They said ahead of time they weren't going to show it, but we've also seen that game several E3s in a row. What is that game? When is that game ever going to be finished?
Well, this is kind of the weird thing about like Ubisoft's sort of push, and a lot of developers push, and having these not necessarily games as a service, but games that don't feel like they stop anytime soon. We're getting For Honor DLC, we're getting the Division DLC, we're getting Rainbow Six, we're getting all this stuff that just keeps growing and growing and growing, instead of like a brand, like we didn't get For Honor 2. You know,
for sure.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
So, like in lieu of giant new announcements, we got continuation of a bunch of stuff that's been kicking around for a while.
Which I want to play devil's advocate and say that I think that is very altruistic. I think that especially for like games as a service, we live in an environment with early access where people release something, it won't hit, and they'll leave it and move on.
Yeah.
So the fact that they are Ubisoft has really made it their cadence to support these games post-launch, regardless of what happens, I think gives me confidence as a consumer.
I think it's very promising that I don't know, they've been sort of teasing Beyond Good and Evil 2. I think it's safe to assume that that's probably going to be a similar scenario where it's a big sort of existing, like they're building a galaxy for that.
Yeah.
It seems sort of like it's going to be.
Because last year they were talking about how they're like user sourcing all their assets, right?
Yeah.
Didn't get an update on that. But I also can't remember the last time Ubisoft had a press conference that did not mention a new Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah,
Opened up with the Assassin's Creed Symphony, but like no hint at what the next Assassin's Creed is.
Right, and like I feel like if Nintendo opened up their thing with the Zelda Symphony and then didn't talk about a new Zelda game, people would be livid.
Yeah.
I would be livid. You would have to deal with it.
Yeah, that was an odd call. Obviously, people want Splinter Cell, but wishing for something doesn't necessarily mean it's going to just apparate out of nowhere.
Sam Fisher technically made an appearance during the conference in a mobile game, which is not what we were asking for.
No. It's something that collects characters from all different Tom Clancy games.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a glimpse of that. That looked
the Tom Clancy cinematic universe.
It looked very similar to the sort of the Square Enix Go series, the Hitman Go, and which
are cool. A little on the nose.
Yeah, a bit much.
I mean, it's a working formula to take a big sort of AAA action franchise and bring it down to something as small as your phone. But yeah, that felt a little like.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, like I guess I'm sort of underwhelmed by this presentation. I think we've gotten used to sort of Ubisoft really coming out and just dropping a ton of huge announcements.
I think its recent conferences in recent years have been stronger, but I don't want to be too pessimistic. I think both Watch Dogs Legion and Ghost Recon Breakpoint look really cool.
Yeah, I agree, especially Watch Dogs Legion stylistically, and the fact that it's in the future. We have these kind of really weird, interesting, colorful guns. I'm really, really looking forward to that. As somebody who historically hasn't really enjoyed Watch Dogs, it's kind of been like, yeah, that's cool. This is 100% my jam.
Let's talk about that in a second. I want to mention one thing. We saw Roller Champions, which kind of came out of left field. I think that had leaked a while ago, and it's available now. It's
as like a beta, I think.
Right. But that's
well,
kind of
in sort of typical Ubisoft tradition, we got a leak that was sort of underwhelming, and then we saw more of it, and we're like, oh, that's actually a lot better than the leaked version. Which, it's not the best thing when your game leaks, but I think this is sort of their swing for something like Rocket League, which will live and die by how it plays, which I guess you can do today. And so if this game is fun, I think this will have a huge community. If you looked at screenshots of Rocket League back in the day, you'd be like, it's car soccer? I don't get it, and maybe moved on. But then people played it, and they really connected with it. So there's a chance that could happen here.
I just don't know. We haven't seen gameplay yet. We just have this trailer. So. I don't really know. Like, we don't know what the rules of this roller derby game are and how it plays, what it actually looks like while you're playing it. How many players can you customize your own player?
It's also very odd to have like a playable version available now, but also drop like a CG trailer with no.
Absolutely. Yeah, it needs to be like a theme to see.
Yeah, cool logo though.
I didn't even put that together. That means you would have to. Yeah, just show us the game. You have the game. It's playable.
Kind of an odd call. But yeah, it's interesting. It looks like kind of Rocket League Fortnite. I feel like that could be good. But I also got kind of a Trackmania vibe, which apparently lots of people play, but I don't know any of them.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ubisoft also has that license.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Watch Dogs. Let's get back to Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Legion. I'm really feeling it. It looks pretty solid. I think that I
want to talk more about how you're skeptical of the NPC situation because it either has to be either you can control any NPC or not.
I think you
What's
can.
The message?
Well, I think you can, but I definitely think you'll get to a Waypoint 4 mission. They'll be like, okay, now you're transitioning to Jimmy Two Toes.
Yep.
I hope that guy's in the game.
You will find out how he lost the other 8.
I mean, I just don't want to. I think E3 is synonymous with showing games in their absolute best light, which they should do, but leaving out some key details. And I don't doubt that you'll be able to control any NPC in this game. I just question whether you'll be able to take one from the start to the absolute finish.
I think you'll grab like a sniper and you'll use him for a sniper-based mission and stuff like that. But I think there are definitely specific story parts where you will hijack someone's brain and beat them.
So control any NPC, but you'll need to use specific ones for story missions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get you. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Which I'm okay with. I mean, that's the story, but I think that if you're just like kind of mucking around in the open world, you can be anybody and cause chaos. I'm interested to see how all of that goes. Because you're going to eventually have people scattering and running away from exploding cars, and then you'll be able to just hack them while they're running away in fear and turn them around and blow up another car. That's chaos. That's what I want.
But it's also what's keeping you from hacking the bad guys?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
think
they
those
just put their fingers over
the helmets.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I do like these hats here. The masks are very V for Vendetta, like Purge. They also do make sense as opposed to the little bandana that totally jammed facial recognition. This is that would cover your. to be able to just sprint full speed?
Doesn't seem like it. She seems to be moving much more slowly.
She's level 12 though.
But then at some point. She can get into movies
well,
for
that's a
$6
different but you know, in past games, you've leveled up, and there's a skill tree. So I don't know how they handle that with all these different characters.
Yeah, I mean, that might just be something that, your base character might be this sort of eye in the sky type of thing. And I don't know how you level up a satellite, but I guess we'll figure that out. Yeah, there's still a lot to learn. It's interesting that this is so far away. I'm kind of bummed we're not playing this fall. Yeah, maybe it'll get moved up 6 months for the first time in video game history.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm already kind of getting vibes if you are in fact controlling an AI, or it's sort of almost showing the sympathetic side of AI, which is a nice sort of like counterbalance to the sort of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, where it's like, get the robots, they're bad.
These sort of like Metroid Prime drone sections are really interesting to me because I like the ones in the last game a lot. They sort of added this very smart puzzle element. Instead of just running around with Marcus, you could be like, I have to get this item over here. And now it seems like they're a little bit more dangerous and adaptive, so that's cool stuff there. And just this old lady,
to it. Here she goes. She doesn't want to go lethal though.
Oh yeah,
she takes the bus.
She does take the bus.
He doesn't fly a drone. He takes the bus.
I think Helen really kind of is epitomical of this really interesting gameplay motif that's going to tell you this organic story about the characters. You're going to kind of fall in love with them a la Darkest Dungeon. When they die, it's going to suck.
That's really
Oh man,
yeah.
That's very depressing. In Darkest Dungeon.
Do you think their screen will be up in your character select forever, where it's just like...
I hope so. Just as a memoir.
It's a bummer.
Well, I am dying to find out more. That is all the time we have for the Ubisoft E3 post show, but plenty of those freshly announced games will be actually on this stage very soon. In just a few minutes, we're going to be chatting with the creative director of Watch Dogs Legion. But first, here's what's planned for the rest of today. At around 3:20, we are taking a look at Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and in an hour, we have a block of Bethesda interviews, including Rippin' and Tearin' into Doom Eternal at 4:20, Blaze it, hell yeah. And later tonight at 6 o'clock, the Square Enix press conference will take place, hopefully giving us a proper look at that Avengers game. In just a minute, we're sitting down with Watch Dogs Legion's creative director, but first, let's take a look at what it looks like when you can play as anyone. And after that, a recap of today's PC Gaming Showcase.
Everyone has a reason to fight, and DedSec is open to anyone.
Anyone?
Welcome to the Resistance.
It's basically exactly what it sounds like. Everybody in the entire open world of the game can be recruited to your resistance movement in DedSec. It literally means that as you're walking down the street, it's the characters that you normally would be background characters or just there for flavor or whatever, like every single one of those people is real.
Moving towards play as anyone has given us an opportunity to really focus on what makes people different and what makes people unique and what makes individuals special. And London's people obviously are, the people who never surrender. And it was really, exciting for us to be able to embody those people and those characters in that context.
A lot of it goes back to the fantasy of the game. And when you look historically at resistance movements, there's usually not one or two heroes who do the whole thing. A lot of times it is, sort of ordinary people and doing extraordinary things in extraordinary circumstances. So we wanted to be true to the spirit of that. And it also, ever since Watch Dogs 1 even, that fantasy of being able to hack into people's lives and see them and get to know those people a little bit, we wanted to really take that to the logical conclusion about what if all of that was real? And what if those were real to the point of being your playable characters?
By being able to explore the design edges of that space, this character can do this, but they can't do that, or this character has this class, or that other character has these perks. It gives you all these different builds, all these different ways to play the game, and also all these different identities that you can explore and play with and be.
Depending on who the person is and what their opinion is, you've got to do different sort of story mission type things to get them onto the team. So each person has their own backstory of what you need to do to convince them that DedSec's the right thing for them. So we've got these dynamically constructed missions. We've got some rich story missions as well for these characters to go through. And you really do get a bit of an origin story to bring people onto your teams.
So for example, there was a character that I found, and I was just hanging out by the British Museum, and I was profiling people, and I found this archaeologist. Makes sense. They work at the British Museum. I look at their profile and they studied history and they have an Egyptology degree. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty standard archaeologist things. But then I look into their profile and I see what kind of things that they do. And they're being questioned by the police. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's not every day that an archaeologist is questioned by the police. And so I look at their schedule and they go to work, they meet with their friends, they go out to eat, they meet with a detective investigating with them. And then at 3 a.m. every day, they go and they commit vandalism at the British Museum. So it's like, oh, I have a story now.
Everybody has what we call a trait, or which is basically a gameplay effect that is unique to them. And it also comes from their backstory. So if you see an ex-spy, an ex-MI5 spy or something like that, then, oh, he might be, have extra pistol damage. Or if you see someone who is an IT specialist, they might have some unique stuff that allows them to deal with drones better. And then you can start to scout out and be like, oh, that gameplay trait, I didn't really know what that was at the start, but oh, now I get how that could really help. I want one of those on my team.
Ian! We lost Ian. He's gone.
Watch Dogs Legion does have permadeath. Everyone in the world can die, including your own team. So we really wanted the stakes to feel very high. We're trying to take the subject matter of the game very seriously and give it real stakes. And so we don't want to do all this work to say, wow, these people in the world are simulated, they've got lives, they've got relationships, they've got histories and backstories and all this stuff. And then they come onto your team and they're kind of like useless fodder that, that either can't die or, you don't care about. Like, people, when they go into these missions, again, these are ordinary people, so they do have the ability to die.
It has a sort of cascading effect on the world as well. If someone's getting blackmailed, I can go find the blackmailer and I can kill them if I want to, right? It's like solves their blackmail problem. They're not being blackmailed anymore because their blackmailer's dead. But because we are simulating all the characters in our game and all these characters have like complex interior lives, the blackmailer also had friends and family, and they're not gonna like it if DedSec killed their brother or their sister, right? The way you resolve these problems will have an effect on other characters. And sometimes you have to make a choice, right? If you see two people in an altercation and they're both interesting people and you want to recruit them both, you can, but their problem might be each other. So you have to sort of choose, okay, which one do I help now? And that means the other one's going to have a much lower opinion of me. Then I have to do a whole bunch of work more if I want to raise their opinion again. And so it's sort of like this balance that's going on back and forth.
It puts an interesting pressure on the player to adapt to the tools that they have and to play with the systems in ways that aren't as degenerate, maybe driven by a single game design.